Sam, let's talk to you for just a little more for those people who may have just tuned in on Facebook. Now, you've done a lot of production work, we mentioned, including some work with Ruth Ann, but also Craig Sonnenfeld and so many other artists. Name drop a little again, some of those artists that you've produced albums
In the last year, I did an album for Ultra Chappelle, the Pool Boys, both Emerson musicians, as well as Craig Sonnenfeld. SamBaler.com is where it's all available.
Yeah, your work is excellent. And you do a lot over it, and I see it on your T-shirt, Emerson College, and
I just graduated, yeah.
And give a plug for the radio station over there.
Yeah, WATD, Emerson College, yeah.
And is there more than one radio station coming out of Emerson?
Yeah.
This is the underground one? All right.
This is the free format radio station.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you do any work on the radio station as well, or
I was
mostly
the
behind
general
the scenes?
manager last year.
Oh, just the general manager. I guess that would count. So you have quite the resume for someone who just graduated from college.
Sandy, I need to interrupt because
Sure.
if you go to Sam the Show, Sam decided he wanted to start interviewing people who are famous, who are touring artists, people coming to Boston who have a show, and
What
he
a
would contact
great
them.
idea.
And he came up with his own podcasts. So like 45 minutes, 30 minutes, interview with artists like Keith Lockhart,
Oh, my goodness.
Joey Mullins, who else?
I
don't remember.
I don't-
People who are touring and coming to Boston, and people who are famous now, and people who are more like famous in the '60s. And
how can people find your podcast?
SamTheShow.com or
You say it a little slower.
from SamTheShow.com
SamTheShow.com.
or SamBaler.com too.
Okay,
Yeah.
so if we go to sambaylor.com,
Yeah, it's
it'll
all
link
there.
us to the
Yep.
podcast. Okay, now we're going to put the pressure on you, okay? You absolutely have to do a feature with us because we can even play perhaps a little excerpt from some of your podcasts, some of your interviews. I mean, you have incredible, as I say, an incredible resume. And just to remind people that Sam is moving to New York City in a few weeks, right? And you're going to be looking for work in production, particularly for music production, or would you also be interested in other areas since you do interviews as well?
Yeah, music.
Music
Looking at
primarily?
music, yeah.
Okay. And will you be continuing to do any podcasts now when you're in New York?
We'll see. Yeah.
Maybe so,
When I get
huh?
set up. Yeah.
Sure, that makes sense. You might find a few people around there. Well, how exciting. And we look forward to you doing something with us because we really want to promote what you're doing. You're just doing wonderful things. Plus, you're a lot of fun. And what a guitarist. Wow.
yeah, he didn't. That did not come from me. I showed him E minor
Okay.
in 8th grade, and then the
And
next
that
thing I
was
know,
it.
he was like, I don't know what he was doing.
I think they call it self-taught.
I think so, yeah. But he would go in his room and, I would
that's
hear
okay.
him like put on like Jimi Hendrix and blues, and he would be in his room
Sure,
playing for
sure.
like 4 hours.
Well, we didn't talk about it on the air, but next time you tour together, we love to talk about families that play together, and how they inspire each other. And when we have several groups where it's intergenerational, and I love that natural way of inspiring kids rather than the high-pressured method. Sorry, I'm not into that one.
Right.
I gather that's what you
Yeah.
did. Okay, maybe 2 chords would have been okay, though.
But he just picked it up, and he played the piano and drums before he picked up the guitar. And then he just,
That's
connected with
incredible.
him.
Sam, my favorite song of yours. Well, I don't know too many songs of yours, but of the ones I know, this is definitely at our tops. Tell
Yeah.
us a little about it.
I wrote it in high school, and people seem to like it.
And what's it about? What's the name of it?
It's called Check in the Mail.
Check in the Mail. And is there a particular message, or is it just for fun?
Yeah, well, what she just said.
We didn't hear her because she wasn't on the mic.
No, it's just about, I don't know what it's about. It's about, the lyrics are very literal.
The weird what?
The lyrics are very literal.
Literal. Okay. Literal is okay. Check in the Mail.
Okay.
Sam Baler, live.
Check in the mail to see the mailman as he tries not to fail, to give the goods to all the people on my block, the living, breathing flock of the neighborhood. running downstairs to check the timer on the marshmallow squares. Those tasty treats as they're cooking away, baking today on the block. The living, breathing flock of the neighborhood. And then the light bulb suddenly dies. You try to fix it, but the spark's not flying. It seems as though that it's trying to hide from the block. The living, breathing flock of the neighborhood. Walking the dog, he's sniffing grass all through John Smith's lawn. You know, the guy that keeps the monsters away so people can stay on my block. The living, breathing flock of the block. The living, breathing flock of the neighborhood.
All right, Sam Baler, checking it out. I love that song. I don't know, I get a lot more out of it than you think is there.